What's up, guys? Welcome back to the doctor's office. I am Dr. K. Roy Knight, here to give you proper diagnosis and prognosis and everything comics and comic book characters. The Power Company has started. Now, I did like the Power Company when the Power Company was out originally. Mainly, I liked Josiah Power. I've talked about Josiah Power on my TikTok several times. Josiah Power has been one of my favorite DC characters for the longest time, and hopefully they do right by him, because the way that they did him prior to this renewal of the Power Company, I had issue with. Especially considering he is one of, according to Superman, he is one of the most powerful metahumans on the planet. And someone was able to injure him and put him in the hospital. And that freaked Superman out, more than anything. Superman and Green Lantern, they're just like, what the fuck do we do? Right? Alright, so this is Power Company Recharged. And we start with the murder of a family, a black family like that. And I'll get to why I don't particularly like this situation. I do like this, but I don't like how this starts. So we have the murder of a family, and the target is the boy named Aaron, who is the last one to die after he's seen both of his parents die. And the person who killed them is like, yeah, make sure you scream type shit, right? So the Power Company is, at this point in time, it's Josiah Power, Vixen, and Signal, and Black Lightning. Meanwhile, over in New York, Batman, Tim Fox, Jace, is there. He is the Batman of New York, and he works with NYPD. Honestly, this page was funny as fuck. These couple pages was a little funny. But Geppetto is there. He's killed a bunch of people in this church and is raising them up from the dead and using them as fucking puppets because he's crazy, obviously. And Batman comes in and beats his ass, right? And one of the police officers outside is like, this must be what Gotham is like. When I can tell you, I can assure you, and I'm sure Tim can do the same. Gotham is 10 times worse. But, you're getting the taste, so yeah. After that whole entire situation is done, he does get a call from Signal. And Signal is telling him about the murder and says that the boy who died is his cousin. And he's like, not by blood, but, they were very, very close. And he's like, I'm asking you. Now, prior to this, there was a connection made between Signal and Batman. And, Signal had to tell him about himself. Duke had to tell Tim about himself because he's like, you are one of us. And I understand that you're Batman. I completely and totally get it. But, we are still on the same team and we have to trust each other. He was like, if I can't come to you, then, what the fuck is the point of you, right? So, after they had that bonding moment prior to this, he's like, I'm asking you. So he's like, okay. However, in this situation, he failed to mention that the rest of the Power Company would also be there. So Josiah shows up. He's like, I'm funding this team. And then he's like, I'm not here for a team. Signal, you should have told me more people are going to be here. What is this? Please, everybody back up. So with the information, basically Amanda Waller's hatred has infected Atlanta. Okay. And there's this group called the Sons of Liberty. They hate metahumans. All of this stuff started with Amanda Waller and Absolute Power. And the Sons of Liberty are going around and harassing and torturing metahumans. But there's one person in particular who is brutally murdering these metahumans and is getting out of hand. And they start talking about the situation with Aaron. Now, I'm not really sure what it is that they expected out of Tim, but Tim acts just like Bruce Wayne. So I'm not really sure why y'all thought this was going to be different simply because he's black. He acts just like his mentor. He doesn't want to work with a fucking team. So he decides to go investigate on his own. Because of course, why wouldn't he? And So he's basically following in the footsteps of what happened in the house. Father got injured. The mother got killed first because her scream would have alerted the others. The father was after that. The mother got killed first because she would have awakened consciousness, right? She would have been like that motherly type. He couldn't have that. So he killed her first. Father got killed next. Son got killed after that, after witnessing both of his parents be murdered. And he stayed there. He also put humans only on the window. And while Batman is like looking out the window, there is a person standing outside behind the tree, and they blow the fucking house out. Okay. Now, after that, Signal and Vixen are going after a girl named Aki, who was Aaron's last contact before he died, and she was looking into the Sons of Liberty. And someone is attempting to kidnap her. So, of course, Signal and Vixen handle that situation appropriately. Okay? And they're basically, like, when they get her to a safe spot, she's like, you know, do you knew Aaron? He was like, outside of this, Aaron was one of my closest friends, like one of my best friends. So yes, I did. And they're talking about like everything that was going on, and the fact that there was this online group, because he felt isolated, and he felt isolated because of all this shit that was going on from Amanda Waller's fucking psychotic break that happened during Absolute Power. And so, and actually, it was even before Absolute Power. I know everybody likes to cite Absolute Power. Absolute Power is when she put her plan into motion. But her real hatred for the metahumans sprung itself during that whole Beast Boy situation, where she killed Beast Boy. So it was there versus Absolute Power. Everybody tries to cite Absolute Power. Absolute Power was her plan enacted. And then her rant at the end. But her true hatred of them and putting the fear of metahumans in people started with that whole Beast Boy thing. Anyway, so he felt isolated, and she introduced him to like this online community where, you know, people were speaking on their experiences as metahumans and how they were feeling basically isolated, and they just wanted people to talk to. And she felt bad because she thinks that somebody from this group is the one who actually killed him. However, Batman had already come to this conclusion. So he meets with Vixen and Signal to exchange information, and all of them have the same information. Vixen does try to, like, you know, check him once or twice, but that doesn't work, and he just ends up leaving. And he ends up leaving because he knows where this person is, and he's gonna just go there. And Vixen and Signal are like, let's go there too. So the guy is literally in the online community talking about, oh, you don't ever have to be alone, and if you need me, I'm here type shit. And he notices that Batman is there, and he's like, you know, I thought I killed you. I wanted to kill you so bad. He's like, and now you're standing in front of me. They get into a fight. Batman uses like some acid to destroy basically all of his weapons in there, and he was calling himself Agent Liberty. And after it was all said and done, he threw acid on the guy. They ended up putting him in the hospital because he obviously needs psychiatric help. And he was like, you know, thank you. And they're like, you know, for being here to watch your back. He's like, no, for staying the fuck out of my way. Thank you for staying out of my way. And nothing else. So of course they're sitting there all talking power company, and he's talking about the power. He's like basically doing the power company pitch, and he's like, power company, which is a terrible name by the way, suggest employees, I don't work for you. He's like, I don't trust you either, but you can call me if it's critical. Have a good day. I'm not sure what it is that y'all expected out of this man, but he very much acts just like that other one. Now again, I did and don't like this. I did like the story. I think it's kind of odd trying to include Batman in this, because Tim doesn't seem like the type. He quite literally only came because Signal asked. If it was anybody else, the answer would have been hell no. So I don't know. I think using Signal for that kind of bond or link to Batman is weak. So I want to see if they're going to do something else with that, or if this was just like a one-off type thing and like he can just come in later but Signal has to ask. Black Lightning and Josiah Power didn't do anything. This was literally all worker bees. It was literally all Vixen and Signal. Their teamwork together though was really interesting. So I thought that was cool. I did like the artwork. Now, the comments I was seeing for this issue still did that thing where it references the black on black crime. And that is something I knew was going to happen. And I just, as soon as I saw that it was a black family that ended up being killed, and then the villain after that was somebody black, I said, here we go. I already knew it. And I'm like, why are we starting off that way? Why are we doing that? You could have killed anybody human, to be honest. In Atlanta. You could have killed anybody. So that was weird. And it is like, and it's a radicalized black man with extreme hatred and prejudice towards metahumans, but while also kind of looking like a metahuman himself, like the way his hands were on the keyboard and how he was calling them abominations, and just there was like just a lot of things going on that just kind of contributed to me hating the comments on this comic book. Because it was like, oh look, we get black on black crime, told y'all exists type of thing, and I was just like, we don't have to start that off like that. It literally could have been anybody. And the fact that you have it starting off in Atlanta like this, that wasn't weird to anybody else. Is it just me? Okay. Other than that, I did like the issue. So I am interested to see how they're going to continue with this. Because they made such a huge deal of Black Lightning coming to this team, I would like to see him do something. I would also like to see Josiah Power do something, because again, Josiah Power was like fucking amazing, and he did participate in the missions when Power Company was like originally like the original runs. So kind of putting him in that backseat role is odd. And you're also doing this as a recharge, so we're still acknowledging the Power Company's existence. Are we also going to acknowledge what happened to Josiah Power that led to like the shutting down of the Power Company? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, we'll see. We know how DC is, so but we'll see. But that is it for this episode of The Doctor's Office. If you have not heard of the Ghastly Gospels podcast, please check the episodes for that. If you haven't gotten the book, get the book. And I will see you guys at your next checkup.